Hi, I'm Katya. Welcome back to Total RuCall, a show about real experiences that may or may not have happened at some point in the past. Episode 3. Right off the bat, a few things come to mind. First, the number 3. How does the number 3 factor into your life? Are you a religious person? Well, good. If you subscribe in any way to the traditions of Christianity, you immediately think of what? Cap'n Crunch, Fruity Pebbles, and Count Chocula. Mother, I'm spotting again. So what happens in this episode? What doesn't happen in this episode? Bad bitches, aka complex female womanhood of the past up until the present day, or at least the 80s. Female impersonation. What is the show about? Eggs? No. Female impersonators. And so we are impersonating characters from the past, many of whom we know about, many of whom have been researched, many of whom have been, followed on motorcycles through tunnels and then killed. Something extraordinary happens in the workroom. Ru comes along, I make her laugh, she makes me laugh, I make her think, she makes me get down on the floor and debase myself. This was better than winning a challenge. I made her laugh, I made Ru laugh. That's all Ru wants to do. Ru wants to laugh. She's an old, grizzled Hollywood crone. I made her laugh and it was so magical and I'm so happy and so proud of myself because I knew that she selected me because I'm different and special and funny, not just because of my breasts. I would always have the opportunity to show RuPaul my breasts. I don't need to go to Drag Race to do that. I'm not selfish or egotistical or narcissistic or don't constantly yearn for the affection of people in my industry. That's crazy. I love to wiggle, I love to jiggle, and all I want to do is make people giggle. She didn't laugh at that, but she laughed at something else. Main stage, multimedia, lip sync, live extravaganza. This is a great challenge. I would humbly assert that at this point, we are 3 for 3 in terms of challenges. We being the producers, not me. I'm gonna try to say less. I'm gonna try to say not at all. There's no I in I am now going to experiment with the discontinuing of the word I was Princess Di. Originally, I was given Marie Antoinette. We received written communication before we arrived at the studio. We don't know what's a challenge and what's the main stage outfit. We don't know anything. We just know that we have to show up with all of these things. One of them said, Marie Antoinette, fantasy, or whatever. Who knows what outdated Drag Race terminology the producers are using these days. So, I immediately think of Marie Antoinette, how I can make that interesting. I actually go with more of a dark twist. And then they switch it to Princess Di. Now, in terms of the catalog of the bad bitches of herstory, all I can think of are Michelle Pfeiffer, Ellen Barkin, and Eileen Wuornos. All blondes, all tough, all know how to get the job done. Princess Di was the people's princess. How was she a bad bitch? She was a bad bitch by not adhering to the rigid structures and traditions of an institution that is what? Incredibly rich, outdated. The royal family, it's a relic. The royal family is a relic. So what did I do? I gave the finger, big whoop. I wore a shitty outfit because I brought this wedding dress, it was the last minute. This had a 10-foot train, which to me signified, okay, Princess Di. Blonde bitch with a long train from the 80s. Who do you think? Not Marley Matlin, Princess Di. I had to cut it because it was a dance number. Phoebe O'Hara helped me cut it. And you know what she whispered to me the whole time? You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. I'm an evil bitch from season 4 who's come back to take the revenge that God has promised me. She didn't say that, but she could have. Or at least, I can't recall. I didn't know. Okay. Do you remember when Princess Diana died? I do. I was watching Saturday Night Live and it was interrupted. I remember I was watching it on a TV that was this big, in my bedroom of my parents' house. My first impression of the interruption was that this was some kind of weird skit that hadn't gotten funny yet. No, in fact, it was live breaking news of Princess Diana dying in a fiery car crash. It was a social event on the scale of 9/11. Blah, 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 click, clack, no, click, 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 clack, I discovered the truth. I remember specifically that Princess Diana's death overshadowed the death of another person whose impact perhaps cannot be understated, although whose physical reality, I'm sure, was not squeaky clean and saintly as we remember. Who was that person? Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa, who is Mother Teresa? Mother Teresa in Princess Di. I would have died to be Mother Teresa. That's a bad bitch. Detox, burns the challenge, burns the runway. And guess what? That beautiful country house that your sister Anne just bought in the mountains, she burned that down too. Detox's body is not only another wonder of the world, but it's like Ripley's Believe It or Not, TGI Fridays, that coupon that you were looking for 3 hours that finally made you decide to go to therapy. Here comes the twist. Because we're doing a reality TV program, there have to be twists. You don't eat pasta straight out of the box. If you do, you probably have very sharp teeth and a lot of patience because you have to let it warm up and cook in your mouth. You're also probably an oven woman. I have to pay for my mistakes. I made a mistake, I had consequences. What were those consequences? I landed in the bottom, and rightly so. Season 7 sister on the chopping block. Here's where I get thrown a proverbial reality TV bone. Am I touching myself too much? That's what she said. I fully deserve to go home within the context of the kind of rubric that we've set up in order to send each other home while staying friends. How do we agree to do that? We say, okay, if you fuck up, Mary, you're gonna go home. It's nothing personal. That's basically the argument. It doesn't take into account anything we've done before or anything we haven't done yet. That's where Alyssa flips the script. And we can examine all day long what her real motivations are because I guarantee you Alyssa is a Gila monster. And what are Gila monsters known for? Well, not just poisonous saliva, but strategy. She says, I sent Ginger home because I feel that in season 7, she showed all her cards. But you, me, Katya, Alyssa says, haven't. And yeah, you fucked up today, but I think that you perhaps may have more to offer in this competition. You've got more to share. And actually, I didn't show my cards in season 7. That's why I'm so glad to be here. So Ginger, I know, is probably furious. Maybe, I don't know, stay tuned to find out. So now Alyssa has completely flipped the script. Everything's different in the deliberation room, and who knows what's gonna happen. In a shocking twist, Cersei now wants to fuck her sister. A sister that was revealed to be who? Marjorie Tyrell, granddaughter of Oleana Tyrell, who turns out via Scooby-Doo mask reveal to be Loris Tyrell, who, same Scooby-Doo reveal, the Sept of Baelor. The building. It's a human to building reveal. This is Game of Thrones. If you don't get that reference, maybe you should get on my level. And then, once we're on that level, let's talk about it. I'm lonely. I want to talk about Game of Thrones. Thank you for tuning in to another episode, another harrowing episode, if I might not add. I am still in the race. I've got plenty of space, but I'm still struggling, of course, with my face. This is a bad makeup job. Fasten it, no, it dropped. Fasten it, Avi.
It's not fastened?
No, fasten it tighter.
Where did
You see how I bully the production? Probably. Oh, now turn it off though. You didn't silence it. We fixed it together through friendship.